not the way you want to start out the baseball season. I thought for the most part early on in the game our at-bats against Kershaw were like positive at-bats. They were battle at-bats. They made him work. He's good. He's always been good. So he gives you very few times to take advantage of a mistake, and I thought we competed in the box. You take some chances when you're going against him. You walk some guys intentionally to try to keep the score at a minimum, understanding that sometimes when you do that you put your pitchers in a tough spot, and sometimes it ends up allowing more runs, but I think you got to try to keep it as low scoring as possible when he's on the mound.
What was Chacin's problem today?
Didn't really command the off speed, which is kind of his bread and butter. You're looking at his slider, which is a pitch he's always relied very, very heavily on, and it wasn't biting like it normally does. And he couldn't effectively throw the off speed behind in counts too. So it was just one of those days where he had difficulty finding his spin, and without the spin against a team like that, it's a very difficult proposition.
The back damage was a problem today for Chacin. 10 runs,
Yeah.
1 or 2 outs.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that inning where it unraveled a little bit, he had 2 outs on 3 pitches. Then he leaves a slider up to Turner, which with 2 strikes, a tough thing to do right there. And hits that in the gap, and then kind of unraveled from then on. Where Peterson got the fastball in, he turned on it out of the park. That's an at bat where he tried consecutively, I think 3 straight times to get a slider in the zone and couldn't find it, and then it comes with a fastball ultimately, and I think Peterson was ready for it.
Some encouragement that when there was a little opening by Kershaw in that first inning, you guys were able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's they gave us an error there. We did a good job. Will did on the bases with some ball and dirt reads, getting on over, and Sully did a good job getting him in. You got to scratch runs across on him when you can, and you're looking to put 2, 3, 4 runs up on him. You're not expecting a cascade of runs coming under most circumstances.
Christian, okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He got spiked pretty heavily, like a couple of cuts down the middle of the knee on both sides, but he's fine. Didn't twist it or anything like that. He's going to be fine.
What made you doubt it?
Amped up. We got guys in roles that they've never been on a major league field doing, other than last year when he's doing a mop-up role. So I thought Christian, after the first couple wild pitches, settled in a little bit, and I thought he settled in a little too much when the Seager home run came. I think he settled down. He's throwing 90, 92. He's got to bring it. He's a guy that's got to throw it and throw it with intent, and I think he started trying to pitch a little more. You saw right after that home run, I think he was back up to 97. But for me, he's a guy that's got to really attack. I thought, for me, the highlight of the day was Miguel Diaz on the mound. That stuff, it's electric. It's good stuff. It's he's throwing a front hit ball to Jock Peterson to punch him out at 98 with the ball moving, like a great deal. So I think that's exciting. You get in those games, you get in those situations, you just want to get guys on the field for the first time going. We got that with Torrens and Cordoba and Diaz and Bethancourt even. And so you make of every game what you can make of it in those circumstances.
What do you say to your guys after an opening day, kind of with the way it did?
It's one game out of 162 games. If you come out and you win 14-3 or lose 14-3, it's one game. You show up every series with the intent to win the series, understanding you got a game again tomorrow against Maeda, and you got 2 more games after that. So it literally is. It's a one game out of 162 right now.
What led to the decision to bring Bethancourt as our first guy out of the pen?
It's once you're down 7-1. To Kershaw, to be honest, the odds of scratching back into that baseball game are small, and so you're looking for opportunities to get guys on the baseball field in new roles, to give them the opportunity to get their feet underneath of them. There's not going to be an easy situation for your first time out on a baseball field, but when it's 7-1 and Kershaw's on the mound, you take those opportunities to get those guys out there.
And the fact that he hit saves you another switch possibility.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that was factoring in to a degree, but also the desire, you end up saving Jared Kozar. You can run through your rest of your relievers and feel pretty good about having coverage down in the bullpen for the next day, so you can get a lot of guys into the game that way. So there's probably 3 or 4 things that kind of led to that.
I was just going to say, last year you had a lot of veterans in the clubhouse. This year, a lot of guys having their first opening day. How do you walk through that message with them that it's one of 162? Is the way you message the confidence thing different this year than it might have been on opening day last year because of the makeup of the clubhouse?
Yeah, I don't think it has to be drastically different. It's the same thing, and I guarantee you there's guys in there saying that today. Last year you knew there were veterans in there saying it, but I know there's guys in there looking at it the same way right now as one baseball game. You got to play 162 of them before the season's done. We got work. We got work ahead of us, and we got to get better.
Your thoughts about Clayton Richard taking the mound tomorrow?
Yeah, Clayton's, he's been there for us, threw the ball really well for us last year. He's a guy who relies heavily on his sinker, and, this is a team that, honestly, they handle sinkers well. So he's got his challenge out in front of him, but he's going to get the ball down the zone, get the ball on the ground for us to make some plays in the infield. And I got all the confidence in the world in Clayton. Feel good about him tomorrow.
You mentioned Diaz. Is this the first time that a lot of people have seen that kind of stuff, that two-seam? You got Peterson down on it, but is it something that you've seen throughout spring training as kind of his announcement to the rest of Major League Baseball, what he's got in that arm?
I don't think of it in those grandiose terms that he's making his statement of who he is to Major League Baseball. The way I see it is a young kid with a lot of confidence that pitched in low A ball last year that still is going to have some bumps and bruises along the way, but you can easily see it. Doesn't take vision to see how good he is and how good he can be. So I thought from the first day we saw him throw a baseball, we knew our scouts did a heck of a job grabbing him, and we're very excited about his future. And he's a guy, he was a starter last year, so you can easily take the Perdomo track with him at some point in time down the line. But right now, he's just getting his feet underneath him at the Major League level, and I thought it was a great showing for him today.